week on North American Hunter. Kansas, whitetails, and you call the shots. Covering your bases in the woods and elk setups. But first, that sound, that chilling sound. Mark Kaiser is a big game hunter. Mark hunts whitetails from coast to coast and up to Canada. He hunts from a ground blind, tree stand, and even creeps into deer hiding spots.
I tell you what, that is 100 bucks.
With the same passion Mark exudes toward whitetails, that's how fired up he is about elk.
I love whitetail hunting, but I cannot whitetail hunt in September. There's just too much going on in elk country.
Mark is in a familiar spot, the Banded Peak Ranch in southern Colorado. Located in the San Juan Mountains on the Colorado-New Mexico border, the ranch encompasses some of the best and most beautiful elk habitat in the West. This pristine area is home to an estimated 3,000 head of wild elk.
Elk country in September is, for one thing, the fall color is beautiful. The sights and sounds and smells. And the other great thing I like about being in elk country in the fall is that it's cool. I'm not a summer guy. I'm so sick of summer heat and sunburn. I just love to get up on a frosty morning and chase elk. What do you think?
I think we head up that way.
Okay.
At least at that point, as we work our way down to this walla.
Just make a big circle?
Absolutely that.
Okay.
The wind's definitely going to be in our favor at that point. We'll get to hit this water hole, see what kind of activity's been going on. There's some great aspen groves up in here, so
I'm right behind you.
Let's do it.
There is no doubt about it. This is a very tough hunt. It will test you, both physically and mentally.
Nice try. I thought we were only going to go a few feet.
Setting up for an elk encounter is your mental advantage.
During an archery elk hunt, it's imperative that you pick a location that gives you 360 degrees of shooting. And the reason why, elk can come from anywhere. No matter where you hear the bugle come from, an elk, if he comes to a call, he may circle in from any direction. So, on this setup, the elk is bugling down this hill. He's coming up. But I'm going to be ready for a shot to the left, to the right, and behind me, because he could, because of the wind, come all the way around. So, that's your first tip when you're elk hunting. The second tip, pre-range everything around you. Look for every possible shooting lane and pre-range it. 20, 25, 20. Memorize those. Just while you're sitting waiting, keep thinking. 20, 30, 40, 46. Get them in your head. If you set yourself up to have 360 degrees of shooting lanes and have everything pre-ranged, when that big bull comes in, you'll be ready.
Well, of all the places that I've been in the Rocky Mountains, this is a really unique, wonderful place to be. It's pristine, beautiful. It's got everything you could want. It's plenty of big meadows and cliffs and magnificent scenery. Well, outfitting, it's not just a business. It's really a way of life. It's a passion. It's something that gives us a great opportunity to get out there and share what we love with others. It's just a wonderful way to spend the fall with guys that are great company, and we try and give them the best experience we can possibly give them, memories that will last a lifetime.
A few years back, Mark found that true happiness shooting an outstanding 6x6 bull.
This is extreme. Chasing elk through the woods like this. And he'd come down just charging and bugling. That is so cool.
Today, the situation is different. Much different.
The tough part is this wind. You can feel it swirling right now. The storm isn't helping. It's kind of getting crazy direction out of the wind. But I mean, it's a good bail-off spot, too, either way, once we hear a bugle.
I mean, look at these trails.
Yeah, this is pounded.
You can drive a car up here.
You've been coming off this pretty regularly. At least they're active. Yeah, we better stay above them. You just can't dress for an elk hunt because everything is changing constantly. On this elk hunt, rain was coming down, it was cool, drizzly. That's okay.
The rain happens quickly, often, and heavy in the San Juan Mountains. Even snow at the top of Banded Peak. All this changing weather plays with Mark's emotions as he continues to wait and wait and wait. Mark is hidden and concealed, no matter the conditions. Important hunting any big game.
There's no question Mossy Oak has some great patterns, but not only do you have to match the pattern to the background, you've got to make sure all the little details about you as a hunter are camouflaged as well. I'm not just talking about the torso and your legs, head to toe, all your gear, everything has to be camouflaged. But if you're out in the woods, have a dull-looking boot so when you sit down, it blends in with the dirt, leaves, and branches on the ground. Hey, for instance, a lot of guys will go hunting in spring, turkey hunting, they won't cover their hands. Just look at the reflection your hand gives off. Turkey will see that, no doubt. But the little things as well. A watch, everyone's got a watch, because sometimes you got to be out of the turkey woods at a certain time, or out of your deer stand. Look at the reflection off that. So, make sure your sleeve is over it when you're hunting. On this binocular, the hooking device here is chrome color, glints like crazy. I need to get busy and camouflage that as well. And of course, don't forget your face. Your face is just like a beacon out there. So, use face camouflage paints, or easier yet, use a face mask. Cover yourself up, make sure your ears are covered, all that's showing are your eyes. If you pay attention to the little things, the details of your hunting equipment, your gun, your binocular, your watch, your hands, your ears, if you pay attention to the small things, you're going to have a lot bigger payoff at the end of your hunt.
When North American Hunter returns. North American Hunter's Mark Kaiser is hunting the San Juan Mountains along the Colorado border. The guide Damien Kem is fighting back the water from all the rain to call for a big bull elk. Both hunters are frustrated, but know when elk hunting, like the weather, things can change in an instant.
love to chase elk, and for really, really good, solid reasons. First of all, elk talk back to you, so it's a very vocal and communicative type hunting. And one final reason probably why I love to hunt elk is they're very tasty. They're good on the grill, they're good in the pot. No matter how you cook them up, elk is good meat. You know, sometimes the harshest hunts, in fact, the hardest hunts I've ever been on, where I've really had to work at it and my body is right at the end of dropping, those are the hunts I remember the most. So if you've got good animal encounters and then you're just working hard at the hunt, sweating, crawling, grinding your body down, that makes a thrilling hunt. There's a time to move slow on elk, no doubt, but if you don't get ahead of the elk or intercept them when they're on that morning move or their afternoon move, all you're doing is listening to bugles going away from you. They're elk. You can't guide them into that last 10, 15 yards. Something spooked him. He knew something wasn't quite right. At that distance, you know, they got a sixth sense. They know what's going on. Almost, damn it. That was nice. God. And he did what elk always do. Instead of coming, look at this easy trail. He's gonna come right through there and give me the shot like we thought. Instead, he comes through the nasty stuff, circles around. And he just peeked his head out. I had him at 22 yards.
He was waiting for his body to come through.
And he's
2 more steps.
And the other thing is that wind. I could feel it in my face here. He could have caught a drift of the scent somewhere.
Yeah. Either side. Where I was at, it was coming straight at me. So
he may caught the drift center. He saw something he didn't like. So
yeah.
Set out that way.
No success this hunt, but that's okay. Come next September, Mark will be walking the woods somewhere, waiting for another chance at a monster bull elk.
So as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to elk hunting, they're edging right up there with whitetails on my scale. I'm afraid I'm getting a little addicted to them too.
The following products have been field tested and approved by members of the North American Hunting Club. This Flextone game call features a soft, flexible barrel that produces a more natural sound. The design also allows hunters to use the call as both a close-in coaxer or long-range distress call. Wildlife Research Center Trophy Leaf. Supercharged scent is impregnated right into the trophy leaf's easy-to-attach, custom vented plastic dispenser for maximum convenience. Trophy leaves are available in several cover scents and attractants. For more information on these products, or to find out how you can become a field tester, visit huntingclub.com. Larry Weissman, Mark Kaiser, Bill Miller, and Kansas Whitetails. You call the shots. Thompson Center presents You Call the Shots. Join our panel of experts. Bill Miller, Mark Kaiser, and Mr. Whitetail Larry Weissman as we invite you to call the shots.
I'm fired up to be anywhere in whitetail country during the rut, but if I had to pick one spot, Kansas is one of my favorites. And this is Kansas right in the good pre-rut, right before the does come into heat. So these bucks are on the hunt. And of course, rattling, calling, all those aggressive tactics, they work perfect. I was hoping they were going to work really perfect on this hunt. And I'm trying my hardest, as you can see, rattling. Middle of the day. See, I'm a big believer in midday hunting and staying in that stand as long as you can. In fact, I stay in the stand all the time. during the pre-rut and rut. And this buck come in, and he looks close. He looks like he's in bow range, but he's just right on the edge. And I never advocate being a long shooter. I mean, I practice out to 60, 70 yards regularly. And as you can see, he's out there at 60, 70 yards. But got a lot of brush. You look at the underbrush there that deer's going through. There's a lot of timber. So I'm working him. I'm trying to get him a little closer. And what's going on? There's just enough of a breeze and him walking. He can't hear these subtle grunts that I'm tossing out to him. And you probably can't hear me cussing at this point.
It's funny sometimes when you're vocalizing to deer, when you're grunting at them or whatever, sometimes they can pick up the slightest hint of a noise, and other times you can be bawling at them and they just ignore it completely.
I think that's a big part of it. I think they hear you, but they just don't pay attention to
I
you.
do too. I think that
I'm convinced they can hear you, but you haven't caught him at that right moment yet. He's still got something else on his mind that he wants to check out. But it looks like you've got him turned around and he's coming your way now.
You know, I to this day, I don't even think he was listening. He was just snooping. And you're right, he might have heard me and ignoring me, and I've had that happen. But he just kept snooping and snooping, and I'd made up my mind. This was a shooter. Nice 5x5. It's not an old deer, but with bow and arrow, for me, I was ready to make the shot if he was going to let me.
Well, let's say a bow, 54 yards with a bow in my hand. You know what? I'd probably have better luck throwing the bow at him and hitting him with the bow than I would shooting an arrow at him. So 54 yards with me and a bow, no way.
The same for me, Larry. Put a bow in my hands at 54 yards and every deer in the world is perfectly safe. But with today's equipment, the bows, the arrows, the trajectories they're getting, the sighting equipment, and the optics. I mean, we know with a rangefinder to the yard exactly where this deer is. And if you're practiced enough and you know the arch and archery, even that stuff in the way isn't a problem. Mm-hmm. I know Mark shoots a lot to get ready for hunts and situations just like this. So when that deer brings his right leg closer or forward, he's wide open for a shot if he thinks he can make it.
This deer's busy, as you can see, and he just never gives me a good standing shot. And as you can see right there, he's quartering to me a lot, and I'm just a little nervous on deer shooting a quartering shot. 50 yards, if there's some wind and distraction where the deer doesn't hear the bow go off, I got no problem with that. But, man, this deer he had an agenda. He had things going on.
He is obviously, like I say, he's got some place in mind he's wanting to go. You know, maybe he's just checking out the area, but he seems like he just keeps skirting right around the edge of it.
And he does. It just never stops enough to shoot. And on a 50-yard shot, I don't have a problem snap shooting a 15, 20-yard shot, but on a 50 or 60-yard shot, I need to settle and get set. And this deer just never gives me that opportunity.